welcome back to the deep dive. You know that feeling, don't you? Stepping into the shower, hoping for that nice hot water, and it's just lukewarm.
Yeah, or at the sink trying to wash dishes and it's just not cutting it.
Exactly. Such a common frustration.
Yeah.
Makes you wish you just had a bit more control, right? Well, today, that's what we're aiming for. Okay, let's unpack this.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission here is to really get into your Rinnai Tankless water heater.
Mm-hmm.
We're going past, the standard manual stuff. We want to pull out the exact steps you need to adjust the temperature.
Right.
But also, crucially, the why behind it all. The goal is to get you informed fast so you can maybe get that hotter shower, but also understand what's going on inside the unit.
And it's important to understand.
We're drawing from a pretty comprehensive guide,
Mm-hmm.
trying to find that sweet spot between, getting the hot water you want and being really careful about safety.
Absolutely. That core issue, wanting control over something so basic like hot water, I think everyone gets that. What's fascinating here is, well, the sort of hidden complexity in it.
Yeah.
We're not just giving steps like a recipe. It's about understanding the reasoning, especially, like you said, the safety side. It's empowering, really.
Definitely. So, like any good project, got to start with the basics, lay the foundation,
Mm-hmm.
and the very first step, it seems almost too obvious, but you'd be surprised. Make sure the heater's power is actually on.
Right. Crucial.
You need that power flowing to even talk to the settings inside, let alone change them.
Precisely. That power check, it's step 0. It ensures the internal brain is actually awake and listening for changes.
Okay, power's on. Check. Now, the guide says we need to get inside. Here's where it gets maybe a little intimidating for some. Removing the front panel.
Yeah, it can feel a bit like you're doing surgery on your appliance.
Yeah. So the guide breaks it down. It says look for 2 plastic trim pieces, usually on the sides.
Mm-hmm. We often hide the screws.
Right. Carefully slide those out. Then you'll see the screws, usually 4 of them. Unscrew those screwdrivers, drill whatever you've got.
Gently does it.
And then carefully lift off that front panel. That reveals the inner workings.
Exactly. And the guide is specific for a reason. You need clear access to those internal controls. Removing the panel isn't just cosmetic, it's necessary because those core temperature adjustments, well, they're deliberately not accessible from the outside.
For safety.
Primarily, yes. Safety and maybe preventing accidental changes. It's a design choice to make sure adjustments are intentional.
Makes sense. Okay, panels off. We're looking inside. Now, the guide mentions a priority button on some models.
Yes, not all of them have it. But if yours does, pressing it basically tells the unit, hey, prioritize making hot water right now. It can sometimes speed things up a little.
A little boost, okay. But the main event for temperature, the real control center, seems to be these things called dip switches.
That's the core of it. Tiny little toggles, usually tan-colored, on the circuit board.
And this is where you need to know your specific setup because the guide says the process splits here. It depends on whether your Rinnai has one of those separate temperature controllers, the ones with the up and down arrow buttons.
Exactly. That's the key difference. If we connect this to the bigger picture, these tiny switches are setting fundamental limits for the heater. You're looking for a block of them, typically marked SW1.
SW1.
Got it. So scenario 1, your unit has that separate temperature controller.
Okay, I have the controller with arrows. What do I do?
You find SW1 and you flip switch number 6 in that bank, just number 6.
Switch 6 on SW1. And what does that do exactly? Does it instantly make it hotter?
No, not instantly. What it does is it unlocks the potential for higher temperatures on your controller. It raises the maximum adjustable temperature limit up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit from the typical default of 120. So then you use your controller arrows to go higher.
Okay. So it enables the controller to reach higher. Makes sense.
Right. Now, scenario 2.
Yeah.
Your Rinnai doesn't have that external controller.
Okay, no controller, just the unit itself.
You still find SW1, but this time you flip switch number 5.
Number 5 instead of 6.
Correct. Flipping number 5 directly tells the unit itself that its maximum output temperature should be 140 degrees. It enables that higher temp internally since there's no external controller to do it.
So it achieves the same max temp, just a different switch depending on the control method.
Precisely. It shows how they designed it for flexibility, but you absolutely have to know which path applies to your heater. Getting the switch wrong won't break anything, probably, but it won't give you the result you want.
Okay, super important distinction. So let's say you've flipped the right switch, number 6 or number 5. The internal work is done. How do you know if it actually worked? What does this all mean for your shower?
Right, the moment of truth, verification time.
And again, it depends on the controller, right?
It does. If you have the controller, it's easy. Just press the up arrow. Can you now set it higher than it used to go, up towards 140? If yes, success.
Simple enough.
If you don't have the controller, the test is more hands-on.
Me.
You need to go turn on a hot water tap somewhere and carefully feel the water. You should notice a definite increase in how hot it gets compared to before. It's direct feedback.
Okay. Carefully being the key word there, I imagine.
Absolutely. And once you've confirmed, either on the controller display or by feeling the hotter water you've done it, then comes the final satisfying step, putting it all back together.
Right. Reverse the process, panel back on, line it up carefully.
Put the 4 screws back in.
Don't over-tighten.
Good point. And then slide those plastic trim pieces back on to cover the screws. Job done.
Nice. But now that we potentially have much hotter water, this brings us back to safety.
Yes, this raises an important question, or maybe a crucial reminder. The source material is very clear here. Safety is crucial, especially if you have small children.
Yeah, that's non-negotiable.
And the CDC specifically recommends keeping water temp at 120 Fahrenheit or lower if you don't have one of those controllers that lets you easily adjust it down later.
Why 120 specifically?
Because water hotter than that poses a significant scalding risk. It can cause third-degree burns in just seconds, especially for kids or elderly people whose skin is more sensitive or who might not react quickly.
Wow. Okay. That's serious.
It really is. So there's this delicate balance, right? Getting the comfort you want, but prioritizing safety above all else. Just because you can set it to 140 doesn't always mean you should, depending on your household. Maybe 130 is plenty, or maybe sticking to 120 is the right call for your situation.
That's a really important perspective. Convenience versus caution. Now, what if? What if someone goes through all this, flips the right switch, puts it back together, and they still feel like they don't have enough hot water? Or maybe it runs out faster.
That's a good question, and the guide has a fascinating, slightly counterintuitive tip for that.
Oh.
It suggests you could try lowering the temperature setting a little bit.
Lowering it. How
Yeah.
does that help get more hot water?
Well, think about how tankless heaters work. They heat water on demand. If the incoming water is really cold, or you're asking for a very high temperature and a high flow rate, the heater might struggle to keep up at its absolute maximum setting.
Okay.
By lowering the target temperature slightly, say from 140 down to 130 or 135, you ease the burden on the heater. It might then be able to sustain that slightly lower temperature for a longer duration or at a better flow rate, effectively giving you more usable hot water overall because you're not mixing in as much cold water at the tap.
Huh. So less extreme heat might mean more consistent heat. Interesting trade-off.
Exactly. It's about finding the optimal balance for your specific conditions. And, of course, the guide also sensibly points out, if these steps don't seem quite right for your model, always check the Rinnai website. Find the manual for your specific unit.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Read the friendly manual.
Indeed. And if you've tried everything, check the manual, maybe tried that lowering trick and you're still having issues. The source says it's time to call in the pros.
Right. Sometimes you need professional help.
Definitely. But hopefully you, our listener, have navigated this successfully. You've gone from maybe being a bit frustrated to feeling empowered and in control of your hot water.
Yeah.
The core lesson really is achieving that comfort, that convenience, while always, always keeping safety front and center.
Well said.
And maybe a final thought for you to chew on. Think about how this small adjustment, understanding these hidden switches and safety limits in your home, how that connects to maybe broader ideas like personal agency, understanding the tools around you. What other hidden settings or, underlying principles might be waiting in your life for you to uncover? Not just for convenience, but for a deeper understanding, maybe even greater safety.
Ooh, I like that. A provocative thought indeed.
Yeah.
What else are we taking for granted? Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Rinnai Tankless water heater.
My pleasure.
We really hope you feel ready now to maybe make those adjustments if needed and really enjoy knowing how it all works, because getting that knowledge quickly, getting those aha moments, that's what the deep dive is all about.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and enjoy that perfect temperature.